home loan, there are people who will look very closely at your loan and decide whether or not you get it. That's today's HomeWise topic with mortgage expert Tyler Osby, who joins us now. Tyler, behind garage door number 1 today, mortgage underwriters. Are they extremely thorough? Are they strict? Are they picky?
Yeah. but yes. That's their job,
yes,
right?
Exactly.
They have a set of rules that they're looking to abide by, and they've seen some things, right?
Exactly.
So if it seems like they're looking for crazy stuff, it's because they are.
Right, because they have seen things previously.
Yeah.
So let's move to garage door number 2. And this is more about what underwriters are about and why we have them. So what is their purpose?
So they are underwriting to a standard, right? And they're given a handbook of how they need to follow certain rules and policies by program and regulator, and they're doing their job to make sure that whoever's originating the loan is following all the rules that they're supposed to.
And there are so many rules. I don't know if people understand all the rules and regulations that mortgage lenders have to go through when people want to buy a house. It has just become a lot over the years, and these people are sort of the guardians of that loan. Would you say, and just making sure that yes, all the boxes are checked, all the rules are met.
Yep. And what I will say is, if they and the person communicating with them, like the loan originator or whoever, understands what they're trying to protect them from, you can navigate it in a way that you can kind of common sense approach a situation, right? There are exceptions made. You always got to take into consideration, what are we trying to prove isn't happening here, and document and tell the story so it's clear that that isn't happening.
At the end of the day, they are human, right?
Oh yeah, totally.
And we need them, and we want them, and we want to work together with them. Let's talk about what's behind garage door number 3, which is making the underwriters happy. So again, ultimately they have the decision of whether or not to even approve your loan. So it's not just about satisfying any requests that they have, right? We want to make them happy because we want you to buy a house or be able to refinance your mortgage loan. So what would you say are the best ways to make underwriters happy?
Well, the first thing is enter the process with an open mind, right?
Yes.
Don't think that everything is just a frustrating thing, because if you do, that's going to be your experience, right? But for us, like having dealt with the same underwriters all the time, knowing what it takes to get a loan approved, we're asking for a lot of that stuff up front, right? If your experience of getting a loan is a bit of a train wreck, which it can happen, it's because they're learning, right? Which I was new at one point too.
Yes.
But I think that as long as you have an honest and open conversation with whomever's helping you get the loan, they'll be on the same side of the table as you, and hopefully get the underwriter on the same side of the table as well.
One thing I always say to people that I work with is, if you want to borrow tens of thousands, or lots of times, most of the time, hundreds of thousands of dollars, there are rules. There might be some hoops to jump through, but at the end of the day, we're all on the same team and we want to get this done. So teamwork. All right, Tyler, thank you so much. If you would like to share what you have learned today or check out other HomeWise topics, be sure to visit WHO13.com and search HomeWise with the $sign. There's also a link now that if you click on that, you can send us a question if you have a topic that you'd like to see Tyler and I cover. We'll be right back.